Okay, so fine. In the last class, we have seen about the array, and we have defined one formula based on the array. And I have told you that this is very important topic. So sometimes they will ask you. So in this session, based on that array, we will solve one numerical which has been asked in your RTU paper. And after this, we will see the type. We will go on to see the types of antenna which we have seen. So in the last session, we have seen the formula for arrays is equal to En cos psi by 2. So this is very important formula. So derivation might come. So here psi will be equal to En cos beta d cos plus alpha by 2 by 2. So this is the formula which I have derived in the last class. So based on this, we will see one numerical. So actually this numerical has been asked in GATE paper. So let's see how we are discussing this numerical. So the problem was like this, in a uniform linear array. So I'll give you options also. So please try by yourself. Linear array, 4 isotropic radiating elements are given, are spaced, the spacing. So I will elaborate the problem and once I will write here, are spaced lambda by 4 apart. So actually it was in GATE 2015. So they have asked. So and the progress, it was given like this: the progressive phase shift between the element required for forming the main beam at 60°. So at 60° at the end fire is, and options was, A option was minus pi radian, B option was minus pi by 2 radian, C option right here, C option was minus pi by 4 radian, and D option was minus pi by 8 radian. So I will explain the question. So the question was like this: in a uniform linear array, 4 isotropic radiating elements are spaced lambda by 4 apart. The progressive phase shift between the elements required for forming the main beam at 60° at the end fire is. So basically what they are asking you, so I'll explain you. So I'll explain the question. The calculation part will be done by you only. So let me explain the question to you. So spacing was given lambda by 4. It means that D was given to you lambda by 4 in the problem. And the 4 spacing was given 1, 2, 3, 4. And this spacing distance was lambda by 4. Lambda by 4. This was lambda by 4. And it is radiating at an angle of 60°. This part, it was radiating at a theta was given as you 60°. So basically you have to calculate alpha, or in that case psi will be so if suppose the problem will be like this. So in always this uniform linear array, psi will be equal to 0. So this psi will be equal to 0. You have to calculate this alpha with this formula, and spacing was given, this distance was given to you, this distance was given to you, d equal to lambda by 4, and one angle was given, that is 60°. This angle was given to you 60°. So this type of problem they are asking every time. So basically what is psi? Psi is total phase difference. So we have already calculated the value of psi, so we can calculate. So if you can give a try, so how to proceed? So we have already calculated the value of psi. You can see in the last session how what was its lambda plus beta d into cos theta. We have already derived this, we have already calculated. Here psi was equal to 0, because if anytime if they will ask you about uniform linear array, so we will assume psi should be equal to 0. So I can write here for uniform linear array, psi will be always equal to 0. So now what I will do, that 0 will be equal to lambda plus beta value we have seen 2 pi by lambda into d lambda by 4 is given. So lambda by 4 into cos theta value is given to you cos 60. So I have just substituted these values. So what we will get here, from here we will get 0 equal to lambda plus pi by 2, that will become 1 by 2. If you can see, this lambda will cut, that will become 1 by 2, which will be equal to, so when you will substitute this value, you will get lambda s minus pi by 4. So this is the correct answer which they have asked. So see, based on the formula, we can get the answer very easily. So any types of question will be there. They can ask any type of question. You just have to read the question and apply the formula what we have read in antenna array. So basically antenna array, which is used for a more number of antennas which are combined for transmitting and receiving. So this formula is very important, and any numerical can be there. So either in RTU paper also they will ask the derivation, or they will ask the numerical based on this antenna array. So if you are good in deriving this expression, you can easily solve this numerical which will come. So anytime any question will be there, so just apply what we have learned. So if you will apply, you will surely you will solve that problem. So सवाल में कोई दिक्कत है आपको, तो अगर दिक्कत है तो बताइए, नहीं तो आगे बढ़ें. Shall we move to the next section? Okay. So please try some more problem by yourself, or if I'll get some problem, I'll definitely share with you. So now in this section, we have seen some types of antenna. So now we will see one more important type. I mean, every year one question was there in this type. Numerical is also there, or some derivation is there. So this is the most important types of antenna. So we will see this also. So this helical antenna. Helical antenna. So by the name, all you can see how it looks like. So I will show you the diagram of this helical antenna. So first of all, I will define what is helical antenna and how it is made, up of. So basically, if you can take a linear wire, if you can see, if you can say, you can take this conductor, and if the wire is wounded like this, so like this. So I'll write one definition here for this helical antenna, then I will show you. So if a conductor is wound into helical shape with respect to ground, so it is connected with respect to ground. So this is called helical antenna. So I will show you the figure of helical antenna. I have taken from Google. I will show you. So see here. So this is what a helical antenna is. So see, this conductor is there. There is the conductor. You can see here. This is the conductor, and it is the wire is wounded like this. So you can see here the wire is wounded like this, and this antenna is connected to the ground. You can see this antenna is this is connected to the ground. So this is what helical antenna looks like. So basically, this helical antenna, it is used for broadband characteristics, and it provides circular polarization. So we have read what is polarization, what are the types of polarization. So that time also I have told you that this polarization this definition will come. So basically it is used for the broadband characteristics, and it is also used to provide the circular polarization. So you can see in this figure. So this is the figure, if you can see here. So this helical shape it is made, and it is connected with the ground. So you can see here. So in a rooftop, how it is looking like. So here it is there. This is what helical antenna is there. So if somebody will ask you, you have to show them. So and if you can see, four antennas are grouped together. So what we can say, that helical antenna array is there, means four types of antennas are connected together. So we can tell that. So we can also call it as helical antenna array. So this is one antenna. This is second two. So this is the so, so this is what helical antenna array. So this types of antenna is known as helical antenna, and it is also so if one subject is there, satellite communication, so for that purpose this helical antenna is used, so it can transmit the signal from earth to the satellite. So for that purpose this helical antenna, so it is used in the earth base station in satellite. So this is the how helical antenna will look like. So now I will show you the structure, how to define the structure of this helical antenna. Let me define the structure. So basically this is what it will looks like. So we will derive some formula and we will solve some numerical based on this helical antenna. So actually this part is this is the inner part, this is the inner part, inner conductor I can say. So it is inner conductor. This is the outer conductor which is connected to the ground, outer conductor which is connected to the ground, outer conductor. So I have told you this helical antenna is made of conductor and wire is wounded. So I can say this is outer conductor. Outer conductor connected to the ground. And you can see this inner part is connected to the helix. So this is the helical antenna. So inner, I can say here, inner conductor is connected to the helix. So this is also very important antenna. So in this, if you have, so in the satellite communication, we read about this kind of antenna only. And this part, if you can see, this is the spacing between the, this is the spacing S. This is the spacing between these two wires. So this is the spacing. So I'm denoting it by S. So this is what is spacing, and this is what diameter is there. Diameter is there. Diameter is there. This is spacing is there between them, and this is the width of one wire. So if you can see this, so this is the width of this one wire is there, the second wire is there. So if the spacing is denoted by S here, so I have denoted this spacing with S. And this is L naught is the length of one wire. L naught, this is also L naught, length of second wire. L naught, length of third wire. L naught, length of fourth wire. L naught, length of fifth wire. Like this helical antenna will look alike. So if somebody will ask you what will the circumference for this helical antenna, circumference will be denoted by C equal to pi into D. So this is the circumference of this helical antenna. So this formula we will see in the numerical section. So this is also very important. So this is what helical antenna, this will look like this. So if you can see this, if this can, so if you will draw some if you will draw Pythagoras theorem, if you can take this spacing S here, and if you can draw this, this is the distance, if you can see this is the distance, this is the C into pi into D circumference. So if length L naught is the number of turn, so this is the number of turn which we have seen, and if suppose it is turning at an angle alpha, so if so from Pythagoras theorem what we can derive, L naught equal to S square plus C square. So we have already seen A square, I mean, this will be equal to H square plus C square. So suppose this tan alpha equal to S by C. So what we have applied, opposite to the adjacent. So we have read in the mathematics. So I have written here opposite to the adjacent, that is tan alpha equal to S by C. So if suppose let alpha value will be 0, then spacing between them will become a loop. So if this alpha value, if you substitute this alpha value, so this spacing will become like a loop. So this will become like this, like this. If this space alpha will become 0, if this alpha will, if you will put alpha is 90, then this spacing will become infinite. So this will become like this, infinite. So always for helical antenna, what we have to do, we have to put the spacing between 0 to 90 degree. 0 to, the spacing should be 0 to 90 degree. If you will put the value of alpha 0, so how it will become? So it will become like a loop. It will like this. It will become. So no distance will be there between them. and if the alpha will be 90, so it will become infinite. So always we have to put the alpha, the spacing between 0 to 90 degree. So this is what the theoretical part of this helical antenna. Now we will see some formula based on this. And so what we can say, so I 0 to the spacing between this will be always between 0 to 90 degree. So we will see some formula based on this helical antenna, which used to ask in the paper. So designing of helical antenna. So next heading is designing of helical antenna. So first thing they will they will ask you. So basically how to calculate the half power beam width. We have already seen for some antennas. So half power beam width formula is derived by 52 upon c by lambda into number of terms into s by lambda, and which that will be calculated in terms of degree. So always there one question based on the half power beam width. So basically this designing is applicable to, if you can see, this designing is applicable to, so lambda, this alpha will vary from 12 to 14, and the c will vary from 3 by, that is circumference will vary from 4 lambda by 3, and number of term will be greater than 3. So this is the ideal length of an helical antenna. So this is the designing part. So in that we can calculate the half power beam width. So for half power beam width, this formula is there, 52 by c by lambda into n into s by lambda. So c is the circumference, n is the number of turn, uh, s is the spacing, and lambda we have already seen. So lambda we are already knowing. And one more thing we have to see here, final null beam width. So final null beam width will be always equal to 115 by, so this is the half null, this then final null will be 115 by c by lambda under root n into s by lambda. This is the final null beam width. Now third thing, we have to see how to calculate directivity. So directivity will be equal to 15 into c by lambda to the whole square into n into s by lambda. This is what directivity is there. So always one problem is there, how to calculate the half power beam width, how to calculate the full null beam width, and how to get directivity or anything they can ask. So gain also we are already knowing. So gain will be equal to efficiency into directivity. So gain will be equal to this. Input impedance, if they will ask how to calculate input impedance, so please write the formula because we are going to solve some problem based on this. So input impedance will be equal to 140 into c by lambda. If somebody will ask you what is the axial ratio, so this type of problem I have taken. So what are the things they are asking you? So axial ratio will be equal to 2n plus 1 by 2n. So this five thing we have to always keep in mind. First is half power beam width. So half power beam width will be equal to 52 upon c by lambda into n into s by lambda. So c is circumference here, n is number of turns, how the wire is moving, s is the spacing between these wires. Now we can see what is the full null beam width. Full null beam width. So actually this is not a square root. So I have written a square. So this is not the square root. So 115 into c by lambda into n to s by lambda. Then directivity formula. This is the directivity formula. So directivity is equal to d is equal to 115 into c by lambda whole square into n into s by lambda. Gain we have already seen, that is efficiency into directivity. Input impedance is 140 into c by lambda. Axial ratio A is equal to 2n plus 1 by 2n. So this is the, this five formula please write so that we can solve some problem which has been asked in the RT paper previous years. So if we are aware of these five formulas, we can easily solve any kind of problems. So let's see some problem here. So question was like this. A 16 turn. So if you can see the RT paper, every time one problem is based on the helical antenna. A 16 turn helical beam antenna has circumference lambda, and turn spacing is given lambda by 4. So they are asking you to calculate half power beam width, axial ratio, and directivity. Three things we needed to calculate from this. So actually what is given to us, first we will write this. So we have given what are the things given to us, we can write from here. So n is given 16 here, so you can see n is 16 from here, n is 16. And if you can see, c is given so as antennas, and circumference is given lambda, so c is given to you lambda. And one more thing, and spacing is given to you lambda by 4, s is given to you lambda by 4. So these all things are given to you. Now you have to calculate the half power beam width, axial ratio, and directivity. So how you will calculate it? So we have seen the formula for half power beam width, that is equal to 52 by c by lambda. So that was under root. So actually that was under root, what I have done here. So this is under root, this is also under root. So please rewrite the formula, that is c by lambda into under root n s by lambda, and here 115 c by lambda into under root n s by lambda. So what I can write here, into n s by lambda. This is the formula which we have seen. So what we can write here, 52. And if you can see, c by lambda means c is given to you lambda, and lambda by lambda will become 1. So what I'll write here, 1 under root 16, n is given to you 16 into s by lambda is given 1 by 4. So this is 1 by 4. So when you will calculate it, what you will get? You will get 26 degree. So this will become 2. So half power beam width will be 26 degree. So this is the first part. So like this, always the problems comes. So now we will calculate the axial ratio. Then we can see what is the. So now we will see how to calculate the axial ratio. So see, second thing we have to calculate is axial ratio. So axial ratio formula we have already seen. Axial ratio is given by 2n plus 1 upon 2n. So which is equal to 16 into 2 plus 1 upon 16 into 2. N value is 16. N value of n is 16. So what we will get? 33 by 32, which will be equal to 1.03. This is axial ratio. Now directivity will be equal to 15 into c by lambda square into n into s by lambda. So what we will get here? 15 into c by lambda is 1 into 16 into 1 by 4. So here, from here you can calculate 60. So now we will put this in calculator, 10 log 60. So what we will get here? Close to 17.78 dB. So always keep in mind, so always you have to calculate the directivity in terms of dB only, because we always calculate the directivity in terms of dB. So at what directivity the antenna is moving. So this is the first problem. Now second problem you have to solve. So I'll write one more problem for you. So please solve and tell me the answer based on this numerical. So the problem is like this. Calculate the directivity, half power beam width, input resistance, that is Rin, or you can say input impedance for a helix antenna with a dimension. Dimensions is given as number of turn. Number of turn is 9. Operating frequency is 2 gigahertz. Circumference is 0.8 lambda. and distance between turns is 0.2 lambda. So based on this, so this problem has came into the RT paper. So based on this, kindly solve the problem which I've given. Calculate the directivity, half power beam width, input resistance, or you can say input impedance here. So input impedance for a helix antenna with dimension given as number of turn is equal to 9, operating frequency is 2 gigahertz, circumference is 0.8 lambda, and distance between turns is 0.2 lambda. The question is clear to you? So question is clear to you, and is there any doubt in the question? So please try to solve it and give me the answer. So what is the directivity which you are getting? So what is the directivity, half power beam width, and input impedance? So anybody has solved? Anybody has solved? Aditi, Avantika, have you solved it? 12.37 dB. Okay, yeah, fine, correct. Avantika, and you, what is your half power beam width? What are you getting? Half power beam width? Avantika? Charu, what are you getting? Half power beamwidth and input impedance. Avantika, Charu, Pratibha, and Sakshi, what are you getting? Yeah, correct. Pratibha, what is input impedance here? Charu, am I audible to you? So please tell me the how you are not calculating or what? Sakshi, Pratibha, I think you have written the same answer Aditi has given. She has told you 12.37, you have written 12.36. Tell me the procedure how you have got 12.36. So Pratibha, don't need to go for a wrong thing. If you are not able to solve that, that's fine. But doing copying some other thing and is not fair. So I'll solve it for you. So if people are not interested, that's fine. Actually, you are all are very you have you are paying the fees and also you are capable of what your mind is very capable of what you wanted to do in the future. So basically, directivity will be equal to c by lambda square into n into s by lambda. So this is the formula which I have told you. So what we will get from here? 15. So there is no point if you are not interested. No compulsion is there to attend the classes. So like if only 5 people are attending, so you can also leave that classes. I don't have any issue. If one will be there, I will teach one, but I want dedication. That's all. So, तो अगर ऐसा ही रहेगा तो बाकी आप फ्यूचर में कुछ कर नहीं पाएंगे ये तो श्योर है सो दैट विल बी 0.8 the square. So what will the n is given to you 9 into 0.2. So if we substitute this, so what we will get here 17.28. So when you will put into calculator this 17.28, so what you will get close to 12.37 dB. So this is the first part. Second part, how to calculate the half power beam width, which will be equal to 52 into c by lambda s by lambda. So how will so 52 c by lambda if you can put, so you'll get into 0.8 into 9 into 0.2. So what you will get here 48.44. So now the third thing is, so how to calculate the input impedance, that is Rin, so which will be equal to 140 into c by lambda, which will be equal to 140 into 0.8, that is 112 ohm. So this is the one problem for homework I am giving you. So so a helical antenna is operated at 2 gigahertz and has dimensions which is given to you. Dimensions are given. So spacing between them is 5 centimeter and distance is given to you 10 centimeter. So a number of turns is given to you 20. So find half power beam width. We have to calculate the half power beam width. Directivity. So in this problem, if you can see, lambda is not given, so you don't have lambda and circumference. So you can calculate this from lambda equal to c by f. So from here you can calculate the value of lambda, Now from there, and for circumference you apply C is equal to pi by pi into D. So this is the formula which you have to apply. So I'll read the question one more time. So a helical antenna is operated at 2 gigahertz frequency, and dimension is having S is distancing between them is given to you 10 centimeter, and number of turns is 20. So calculate half power beam width and directivity of this antenna. So one problem will be there in your RTO paper based on this helical antenna. So either they will tell you what is helical antenna, describes how to what is the half power beam width of helical antenna, what is the full power beam width, or they will give you, mostly they go for this numerical part. So this is all from today. So we will meet in the next session. Let's see. So thank you everyone.